and highlighting the potential for a little bit of rain too. Now on to this. If severe weather strikes in the winter, Texas is at risk of facing potential power blackouts. But there's good news about the state's total solar energy capacity. Abigail Ross Hopper, Solar Energy Industries Association President and CEO, joins us now to explain. Now, Abigail, according to your report, Texas currently has enough solar power to keep the lights on in more than 2.2 million homes. Now, nationwide, the report shows that 2023 is expected to be a record year, with the solar industry growing by 55% compared to last year. So what's in store for Texas's solar future?
Well, thanks for having me this evening. Texas's solar future is really bright, if you'll excuse the pun. Right now, you are ranked number 2 in the nation. I know that Texas does not like to be number 2 in anything. The good news is that over the next 5 years, with the amount of solar that's going to be installed in your state, we anticipate that you're going to be number 1. You're going to have the most solar of any state in this great nation.
All right, we like being number 1. What are the challenges that the state's solar industry faces?
The state solar industry faces a couple of challenges. One of them is just the pace of growth. And as we think about, where are we going to put these projects? How are communities going to accept these projects? We're doing a lot of work around that front. And I see the second thing is just making sure that all, especially on consumer side, the residential homeowners, that we have good consumer protection practices, that consumers understand the deal, the transaction they're getting into, and feel good about the cost savings that they're experiencing.
Now, what do those challenges mean for the grid? It's all we seem to talk about here.
Right. No, you do have a lot of discussion about the grid. Solar is a really important neighbor on the grid. It's a good neighbor. It's a strong attribute. One of the unique things about solar, as opposed to some other energy sources, is that it's huge solar farms like you have in some parts of Texas, and it's very small solar installations on top of a home. Those distributed generations, the ones that are sort of home by home by home, they actually are an asset to the grid because the energy is being generated locally. Does not put as much pressure, right? There's not as many electrons on the highway, if you will. And so it's an important asset to have, especially on a strained grid like you have in Texas. But transmission is going to continue to be a priority. You've been a great state for siting transmission, and there's more of that to come.
Two-parted question for you here. First of all, how can Texans take advantage of solar panels on their homes? And also, without battery backup, homes still do lose power in the event of a localized outage. So how do you see the battery backup industry changing over the coming years?
Yeah, it's a great question. So in terms of how do homeowners take advantage of this technology, I would say first and foremost, be an informed consumer. So go on our website, seia.org. We have fact sheets there about how solar works, what kind of federal incentives there are for homeowners, what kind of contracts you should look for, what the terms mean in the contract. So you really understand the transaction that you're entering into, and then do some comparison shopping. Just like you would for a car or a dishwasher or a washing machine, look around, get a couple of prices, and then, make sure that you're actually going to save money. The majority of customers save money when they go solar. I will tell you, you raised a really important point, and what we're seeing in the market, and we saw big upticks of this after some of the really severe weather that your state experienced, is that pairing of solar with storage. So you have a solar on your roof, and during the day when the sun is shining so brightly in Texas, it fuels up the battery, it charges the battery, and then in the evening, that battery discharges and it runs your washing machine and your dishwasher, and maybe it charges your car. So if there's a power outage, that system disconnects from the distribution grid, and your home can continue to be fueled by solar. So you have the solar and the battery. We see that as the future of deployment in solar projects, both on homes and businesses, and actually large scale as well.
Now, lastly, electric companies still charge connection fees for homes with solar power. Now, is that an obstacle for people trying to reduce their electric bill?
It depends a lot on sort of where that level is set. Most people that go solar still utilize the electric grid. And so they should pay their fair share of in that infrastructure. The challenge is that sometimes utility companies raise that rate incredibly high, sort of disconnected to the actual cost of what it means to be connected. And that can be a disincentive. So we watch that very carefully, and we engage in conversations and regulatory proceedings to make sure that it is not a barrier. But certainly solar customers should pay their fair share of keeping the grid up and running.
All right, Abigail Ross Hopper, thanks for your time today.
Thanks so much. Have a great afternoon.
You too.